The T.I. situation, if he did that, I don't spare no fucking body.
And Boosie sure didn't spare T.I. when he revealed how he allegedly abused his kids, especially King Harris. But the part that's turning heads isn't just what T.I. did, it's what King plans to expose if this feud keeps escalating. Let me break this down for y'all. When real ones unite, the intervention that shook the hood. In the heart of hip-hop's never-ending drama, one revelation has cut deeper than most. Boosie Badass, never known to hold his tongue, has now shifted the spotlight onto T.I., not just over street credibility, but over the way he treated his own son, King Harris. This accusation has shattered the already fragile balance between the two artists, pulling King into the conversation in a way that suggests years of tension inside the Harris household. The issue is not a casual misunderstanding. It is framed as direct abuse, wrapped in the same controlling patterns that once had T.I. under fire for his controversial parenting choices toward his daughter. The parallels are stark, the implications disturbing, and the fallout unavoidable. Boosie has long used interviews and social media appearances to make uncompromising statements about authenticity, loyalty, and betrayal. In the past, he has criticized figures like Terrence "Gangsta" Williams for cooperating with authorities, while making it clear that he holds everyone, friends, collaborators, or rivals, to the same standard. That consistency became evident when he turned his focus on T.I., questioning not only his street integrity, but also his credibility as a father. In one revealing sit-down, Boosie cut through the niceties and addressed the matter of T.I. admitting he pinned a gun case on his dead cousin.
Oh, and I also give him some murders with Sterling and Dooney, so some of my people that I'm at odds with now, even BG was upset about it too, because they was like, man, you tell it on the dead.
This wasn't just about the streets, it became about trust. When asked about T.I.'s case, Boosie responded with absolute clarity.
With the T.I. situation, if he did that, you're a rat too. I don't spare no body. Because if you doing anything wrong, you doing anything criminal-wise, and you cooperate with law enforcement to get you out of trouble, that means you're cooperating, that means you're a rat.
By itself, this accusation could be dismissed as part of an ongoing feud, but Boosie then redirected his fire towards something far more personal, the way T.I. exerted authority over his children. The timing of these comments aligned with a renewed wave of scrutiny against King Harris, who was appearing in viral clips carrying himself less like the son of a rap mogul and more like a young man struggling under the weight of expectation and rebellion. This is very unexpected because September 2024 delivered one of the most unexpected parenting moments in hip-hop history when Boosie Badass and T.I. crashed a music video set to check their sons about having straps on deck. This wasn't just some regular pops being overprotective. This was two street legends who put their beef to the side to keep their boys from catching cases that could destroy their futures. The whole situation jumped off when King Harris, T.I., 20-year-old son, and Tootie Raw, Boosie's 21-year-old youngin', were working on what should have been just another routine music video. But these ain't regular kids from the suburbs. They're second-generation hip-hop royalty who've been living in the spotlight since they could walk. King Harris, born Clifford Joseph Harris III on August 25, 2004, has been a public figure since childhood, getting his introduction to fame through the family's VH1 reality series that ran from 2011 to 2017. But what went down in September 2024 exposed something much deeper than just a regular father-son situation. When that footage hit social media, the streets witnessed something unprecedented. Two OGs who had previously been beefing, now standing shoulder to shoulder, unified in their concern about their son's choices. The video spread through the hood faster than gossip at a barbershop, showing both T.I. and Boosie rolling up to the set unannounced, their faces serious as heart attacks.
They just got a gun in your book set.
This confrontation wasn't just about the iron they had on set. This was about a generation gap that's become wider than the Mississippi River. T.I., whose government name is Clifford Joseph Harris Jr., has spent years trying to steer his son away from the exact same streets that once defined his whole identity. T.I. His own run-ins with the law started when he was just a shorty, dealing with drug charges and eventually catching federal weapons cases that landed him in the pen. That time behind bars changed his whole perspective on what these streets really cost you. The irony of the situation was thick as molasses. Here you had two cats who built their whole careers on keeping it 100 about street life, now desperately trying to keep their seeds from walking down that same destructive path. The intervention revealed the complicated psychology of parenthood in the hip-hop game, where the very experiences that created legends also serve as warnings for the next generation coming up.
Possession of a firearm and commission of a crime, sir, that is a felony.
T.I.'s approach to the whole situation reflected years of raising kids, while the whole world was watching every move he made. The Atlanta legend has caught heat for his parenting methods before, especially those controversial comments about his daughter's virginity back in 2019, which had social media going crazy with debates about privacy and how far a father should go to protect his child. His relationship with King has been especially complex, marked by public arguments and makeups that play out on Instagram Live and reality TV for everyone to see. The September intervention came at a time when both families were dealing with some heavy situations. King Harris had just become a father himself, welcoming a son in November 2024, just months after this music video incident went down. This transition to fatherhood added another layer of complexity to his relationship with T.I., who had publicly joked about raising his grandson to torture King the same way King had been giving him headaches as a parent. Boosie's involvement in checking both young men was equally significant, especially considering his own complicated history with T.I. The two Louisiana and Georgia legends had previously been going at it in 2023 over allegations of cooperating with law enforcement, though they eventually squashed their beef. Their ability to put their differences aside to address their son's reckless behavior showed a level of maturity that transcended individual disputes and highlighted the shared responsibilities that come with raising young black men in America. The music video incident also put a spotlight on the broader challenges facing second-generation hip-hop artists. Unlike their fathers, who came up through real struggle and genuine adversity, King and Tootie have grown up with privilege, access, and opportunities that most cats in the hood could only dream about. This disconnect creates a unique set of problems as they try to establish their own street credibility while dealing with expectations that come with carrying legendary surnames.
When y'all got drugs around those legal guns.
What made this moment particularly powerful was the unity it displayed between two former enemies. Despite their own past conflicts, T.I. and Boosie presented a united front, demonstrating that when it comes to their children's well-being, personal beef takes a back seat to protecting the next generation. The timing of the intervention was also crucial, coming just weeks before King Harris would face his own legal troubles. In October 2024, King got locked up in Georgia on an outstanding warrant, a development that seemed to validate everything his father had been warning him about. The arrest, captured on body cam footage that later leaked online, showed a young man trying to stay cool while dealing with consequences stemming from earlier incidents. So, how did both men go from advising these young men about guns to exposing abuse? When keeping it real goes wrong. Legacy versus street credibility. The beef between T.I. and his son King Harris represents one of the most publicly documented examples of generational tension in hip-hop culture. What started as typical father-son disagreements has evolved into a complex dynamic that plays out across social media feeds, reality TV episodes, and courthouse steps, revealing the unique pressures faced by children of street legends who must navigate their own identity while living in the shadow of their parents' reputations. The roots of their complicated relationship trace back to King's childhood, when he got thrust into the spotlight through the family's reality show. From age 7, King was a regular fixture on T.I. and Tiny, The Family Hustle, which ran for 6 seasons and 100 episodes, documenting everything from family trips to T.I. post-prison reintegration back into society. This early exposure to fame created a unique set of challenges, as King grew up understanding that his every move was potentially content for public consumption and hood gossip. The first major public clash between father and son jumped off in November 2023 during an Atlanta Falcons game, when what should have been a family outing turned into a heated confrontation that got captured on video and spread through the streets faster than bad news. The argument centered on King's upbringing and his rejection of what T.I. characterized as a privileged lifestyle that most cats in the hood would kill for.
Silver spoon, I ain't never ate with that day a day in my life.
This moment exposed the heart of their conflict. King, despite growing up in a mansion with access to opportunities that most young cats from the projects could only dream about, felt compelled to assert his connection to real street experiences. His insistence that he spent significant time at his grandmother's house, away from the gated community lifestyle, spoke to a deeper hunger for authenticity that many second-generation celebrities struggle with in the hip-hop game.
I used to have to come to my grandma's house because I'm getting in the
You
fight.
cried like a baby to go to your grandmama's house.
Every day.
You used to hold your breath
Every
and
day.
throw tantrums to go over there.
Neighborhood. I don't want to be in these gates. I want to be outside in the neighborhood.
T.I.'s response to his son's claims revealed his own frustration with what he saw as King's romanticization of struggle. The elder Harris, who had lived through genuine poverty and legal troubles, seemed fed up with his son's desire to experience hardships that he had worked his ass off to shield him from.
I'm gonna tell you the reason why he wanted to be over there. Y'all ready? Because he just pacified guy over there. He was 12 years old.
This public argument highlighted a common theme in celebrity families from the hood, the tension between protection and authenticity. T.I. had grinding hard to provide his children with opportunities and security, but in doing so, he may have inadvertently created a situation where his son felt disconnected from the very experiences that shaped his father's identity and street credibility. The psychological dynamics at play are deep and complicated. King's behavior can be understood as a form of rebellion against not just his father, but against the entire construct of inherited privilege in hip-hop culture. His legal troubles, including arrests in 2022 and 2024, can be seen as attempts to establish his own identity outside of his family's protection and financial security. T.I. public response to King's behavior has been a mixture of tough love, street humor, and genuine concern for his son's future. In September 2024, when announcing that King was expecting his first child, T.I. made a comment that perfectly captured the essence of their relationship dynamic and showed his street sense of humor.
King's about to have a son. Congrats.
Yeah. And I told him I'm gonna make this the greatest gangster of all times. I will raise this child to torture you the way that you tortured me.
This comment, made during a radio interview, was both hilarious and revealing. It showed T.I.'s ability to find humor in their complicated relationship, while also acknowledging the challenges King had presented as a son. The idea of raising his grandson to torture King in return suggested a cyclical understanding of family dynamics that transcends individual conflicts and speaks to generational patterns in Black families. The intervention at the music video shoot in September 2024 can be understood within this broader context of their relationship. T.I.'s decision to publicly check King about having straps on set wasn't just about that specific incident. It was the culmination of years of trying to guide a son who seemed determined to learn life's lessons the hard way, just like his father had done decades before. What makes their relationship particularly fascinating is how it plays out across multiple platforms in the digital age. Beyond the reality show and Instagram posts, their dynamic has been captured in everything from award show appearances to courthouse visits. When King got arrested in October 2024, the incident was documented not just in news reports, but in body cam footage that later surfaced online, providing yet another layer of public documentation to their ongoing story. The legal troubles have added another dimension to their father-son dynamic. T.I., who has his own extensive history with the criminal justice system, understands better than most the potential consequences of his son's choices. His past experiences, including federal weapons charges and drug arrests, inform his current approach to parenting, creating a situation where his attempts to protect King are rooted in hard-earned wisdom from the streets and the pen.
They're my twin.
This admission from T.I. during a Club Shay Shay interview revealed perhaps the most important aspect of their relationship, the recognition that King's behavior mirrors his own past choices. This acknowledgement suggests that T.I. sees himself in his son's rebellious actions, creating both empathy and frustration as he watches King potentially repeat the same mistakes that once had him facing federal charges.
And so he gonna have to find this out. I told him the same road that he's doing. I've been down there. I'm trying to tell him to keep him from going down.
The broader implications of their relationship extend beyond just their family and into the larger hip-hop community. Their dynamic represents the challenges faced by many successful cats who have overcome difficult circumstances and now struggle to pass on both their lessons and their values to children who haven't faced similar hardships. The tension between wanting to provide for your kids and wanting them to understand the value of struggle is a common theme in the hood, but it gets amplified when it's playing out for everyone to see on social media. Recent developments have added new complexity to their relationship. King's transition to fatherhood in late 2024 has reportedly brought them closer together, with family members noting that becoming a parent has helped King better understand T.I. perspective and the weight of responsibility that comes with raising young Black men in America. This generational shift from son to father often serves as a catalyst for improved family relationships, as the younger generation gains new appreciation for the challenges their parents faced while trying to keep them out of the streets and out of prison. The ongoing legal situation surrounding King's 2024 arrest continues to evolve, with reports suggesting various outcomes ranging from minor consequences to more serious charges. Regardless of the legal resolution, the incident has served to strengthen the bond between father and son as they navigate the complexities of the justice system together, just like so many other families from the hood who understand that one wrong move can change everything. The pattern of control, T.I.'s controversial parenting style exposed. The story of T.I. and King Harris extends far beyond their public confrontations and legal troubles, revealing deeper questions about identity, authenticity, and the unique challenges faced by young cats who inherit fame in the hip-hop game. But to truly understand T.I.'s complicated relationship with his son, we need to examine the broader pattern of his parenting style, which became a subject of national controversy when his relationship with his daughter Deja exposed some disturbing dynamics that had the whole hip-hop community talking. King Harris's journey represents a fascinating case study in second-generation fame within hip-hop culture, but his struggles can't be fully understood without looking at how T.I. approaches parenting across the board. Unlike his pops, who built his reputation through genuine struggle and street adversity, King was born into privilege and has spent his entire life in the spotlight. His early exposure through T.I. and Tiny the Family Hustle from ages 7 to 13 created a unique set of circumstances where normal childhood development occurred under constant public scrutiny and hood commentary. But the most revealing moment about T.I.'s parenting philosophy came in November 2019, when the Atlanta legend appeared on the podcast Ladies Like Us and made comments that sent shockwaves through both the streets and mainstream media. T.I. openly discussed accompanying his then 18-year-old daughter, Deja Harris, to annual gynecologist appointments to verify the intactness of her hymen as a means of confirming her virginity. This admission drew immediate backlash for promoting outdated myths about virginity, invading privacy, and perpetuating patriarchal control that had nothing to do with protection and everything to do with possession. The controversy exposed a side of T.I.'s parenting that many in the hip-hop community found troubling. On the podcast, he described his approach with disturbing detail, explaining how he would put sticky notes on doors, reminding Deja of appointments, and how he would demand to see results from her doctor visits. This level of control and invasion of privacy suggested a parenting style rooted in ownership rather than guidance, and it painted a picture of a father who struggled to understand appropriate boundaries with his children.
Yes. I'm being criticized because I'm willing to go above and beyond to protect mine.
When the backlash hit, T.I. appeared on Red Table Talk to walk back his comments, claiming they were embellished and taken out of context. But the damage was done, and the incident revealed a pattern of controlling behavior that would later manifest in his relationship with King in different ways.
And so I just began to, from a place of truth, I began to embellish and exaggerate.
The fallout from the Deja situation was immediate and severe. His daughter was reportedly traumatized and hurt by his public comments, describing the experience as a violation of privacy that made her uncomfortable discussing her own body. She unfollowed him on social media and deactivated her Instagram account, sending a clear message that his protection had caused more harm than good. This incident provides crucial context for understanding T.I.'s relationship with King. The same controlling tendencies that led him to violate his daughter's privacy have manifested in his attempts to manage King's public image and behavior. The intervention at the music video shoot in September 2024 can be viewed through this lens, not just as a concerned father trying to protect his son, but as a continuation of a pattern where T.I. struggles to allow his children the autonomy they need to develop into independent adults. Interestingly, the hip-hop community's response to both situations revealed the complex nature of T.I.'s reputation as a parent. Boosie Badass, who would later join T.I. in confronting their sons, T.I. approach to monitoring his daughter's virginity, showing how normalized certain controlling behaviors have become in some parts of the culture.
That's what a daddy supposed to do.
This support from other figures in the hip-hop community highlighted how generational and cultural differences in parenting approaches can create blind spots, even among people who genuinely care about protecting young people from harm. The pressure to establish his own identity separate from his family's success has driven much of King's controversial behavior over the years, but it's also been complicated by his father's controlling tendencies. His pursuit of a music career under the stage name Kid Sion represents an attempt to create his own legacy in the rap game. But every move is scrutinized not just by the public, but by a father who has shown a pattern of overstepping boundaries in the name of protection. The legal troubles that have followed King throughout 2024 provide a concrete example of how his attempts at independence have led to real-world consequences. His arrest in October 2024 on an outstanding warrant served as a wake-up call, not just for King, but for the entire family who understood that one wrong move could lead to serious prison time.
So what they send my warrant for?
The arrest footage revealed King's attempts to understand and navigate the legal system, with conversations about lawyers, bail, and the potential consequences of his situation. His cooperation with law enforcement suggested a level of maturity that hadn't always been evident in his public persona, showing that when real consequences were on the line, he understood the gravity of his situation.
So look, I'm in the back of the police truck right now.
T.I. parenting approach particularly particularly complex is how it reflects broader issues within hip-hop culture about masculinity, control, and protection. His controversial comments about both his daughter and his son reveal a man who genuinely believes he's protecting his children, but who struggles to understand that true protection comes from teaching independence and good judgment, not from maintaining control and surveillance. The impact of these parenting choices on both of his children has been significant and long-lasting. While Deja has largely stayed out of the public eye since the virginity testing controversy, her initial reaction of cutting off social media contact with her father speaks to the damage that can be caused when protection becomes possession. Similarly, King's rebellious behavior and legal troubles can be partly understood as a reaction to growing up under intense scrutiny and control.
You go into prison if you keep it up. And I love him through it. Whatever he going through, I love him through it.
This evolution in T.I.'s public statements about King reflects a growing understanding of the challenges his son faces, but it also shows the ongoing tension between love and control that defines their relationship. The same protective instincts that led him to violate his daughter's privacy continue to influence how he approaches his relationship with King, creating a dynamic where genuine care becomes entangled with problematic control. The broader implications of T.I.'s parenting style extend beyond just his family and into the larger conversation about how hip-hop culture approaches the protection and guidance of young people. The fact that figures like Boosie supported his approach to monitoring his daughter's virginity while also joining him in confronting their sons about dangerous behavior reveals the complex and sometimes contradictory nature of protective instincts in the culture. Looking forward, the relationship between T.I. and his children continues to evolve as both the parents and children grow and mature. Recent reports suggest that King's legal troubles may finally be getting resolved, and his transition to fatherhood has reportedly helped him understand his father's perspective better. Meanwhile, the family has largely moved past the controversy surrounding Deja, though the lessons from that incident continue to inform how T.I. approaches parenting in the public eye. The story of T.I.'s relationships with both King and Deja ultimately reveals the human side of fame in hip-hop culture, the struggles, the mistakes, the good intentions that go wrong, and the ongoing effort to balance protection with autonomy. Their journey together from reality TV to courtrooms to concert stages provides a complex and sometimes troubling look at what it means to grow up in a celebrity family, where love and control often become dangerously intertwined, and where the line between protection and possession can become blurred in ways that affect entire families for generations to come. Click on one of the cards on your screen to see more videos like this.